Okay, welcome back to episode 18 of Managers of the Gods. Today we are going to do Loki again. So yeah.
Yeah, because he is actually, I think, probably my favorite god from Norse mythology. Like, even though he causes a lot of chaos, he's not quite as problematic as ones like Thor or.
Yeah, that's fair. Thor's hot though, so he gets a pass. Anyhow.
My mum's celebrity crush is the guy who plays Thor.
Chris Hemsworth's everyone's crush. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest, I had a bit of a crush on his brother for a while.
sure, Liam, Tom, whatever. Nice.
And I was a big Hunger Games nerd.
Oh. I don't like Hunger Games.
Books or movies, which one do you prefer?
Both. I don't like either of them. I just never got into the fandom.
I think that the first Hunger Games movie was not the greatest. I think the best one so far, like from the original trilogy that they made into 5 movies. 4 movies, sorry. I think out of those ones, the best one was Catching Fire.
I wouldn't know, haven't watched it. Not what I want. It's not my kind of fandom. It's too creepy.
All right, back to the myths we are covering. By the way, new camera angle, so it's going to look a bit different to normal. So today we are covering the myths of Loki, specifically the tricks of Loki, which our reference point is Snorri Sturluson's The Younger Edda, which is originally from Iceland. Yay. So, getting right into it, Loki was a trickster god, shapeshifter, and frost giant. He is portrayed as having been raised as Odin's foster brother, which is different from the modern Marvel depiction.
Yes it is.
Which, if you've watched Marvel, you know that he is portrayed as Odin's foster son and is raised as Thor's brother.
Yeah.
Which is probably where all that stuff kicked off.
Probably.
So, Loki was responsible for large amounts of chaos, such as when he caused Balder's death, which we will get into later this episode, and he likewise cut off the goddess of harvest Sif's hair, which caused crops to stop ripening. That's actually an interesting link, having it that her hair being cut caused the crops to stop ripening. Because it's kind of similar to how when you cut a flower, it will eventually die.
Yeah.
Which is a really clever little comparison on how the growth of plants is connected to its roots.
I always like how different mythologies present how the different seasons go about. Because in Greek you got Hades and Persephone, and then Norse you got this. I just like seeing it. It's just all very unique.
Think of that. So Thor, who was the god of the sky and Sif's husband, I seriously ship them in the Marvel verse as well. Can't believe they didn't put those two together.
Yeah.
Like, they missed one there.
They did, but it's, give it time. Maybe if they run out of ideas. Disney seems to be scraping at the moment.
No, you know what would be crazy?
What?
Thor and Sif raising the little girl.
Maybe, but they gotta get through they gotta get through Fantastic Four at the moment, don't they? Because they're remaking that.
And then they've got Thunderbolts as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on its release date. So yeah.
And did you see the video for it?
No, I'm avoiding all spoilers. So don't tell me.
Like the trailer.
No spoilers.
No, the trailer.
No, nothing. No trailers. No spoilers. Nothing. It ruins it. They put out too many trailers and they ruin the storyline. It's very annoying. It's all happened with Endgame.
Alright, let's get back to this. So Thor threatened Loki with death unless he restored Sif's hair, which Loki did by way of getting some help from the dwarves, including, and okay, as we get into this section, please excuse any mispronunciations that I have of any terms.
Don't worry, I don't speak Nordic. I think you're good.
Fair enough. Okay. So he received help from dwarfs, including Dvalin, to make new heifer sith, as well as other gifts, which I'll mention shortly. However, he made a wager with other dwarfs that if they could do better than Dvalin, that they could cut off Loki's head. And they did. However, Loki survived because, and this is something similar to a technique used by Shakespeare, he had only mentioned the head and not allowing any damage to his neck, which would be needed to cut off his head. And the reason I mentioned Shakespeare is, I'm just going to do a little thing here. Shakespeare used that technique because in The Merchants of Venice, the deal is made that Antonio would have to pay a pound of flesh. However, it was against the rules in Venice to harm a Christian and draw blood, which Shylock would have needed to do in order to retrieve the pound of flesh.
That was just English revision for you, wasn't it?
No, we've not covered Merchant of Venice in class.
Okay, Shakespeare revision then.
Yeah. So, as well as the new heifer sith, he also retrieved several other gifts, including a spear that would always hit its target, useful for gods of battles and war, as well as a boat large enough for all of the gods, but small enough to be able to be folded for carrying. Now, this next section gets a bit weird. If you feel awkward, feel free to skip. No questions asked. This is the section I texted you.
Yeah. I got that from context clues.
So Loki was a bit of a
Sorry.
He was a bit of a crazy one, and as such, he had children with anything and everyone, including trees somehow, which weird.
Very weird.
And with his wife Anguraboda, he had 3 monsters for children. This brings it to something that you mentioned the other week.
Yes.
Fenrir, a wolf, Jormungand, the serpent of Midgard, which I thought could be kind of seen as an allusion to the Bible with the Adam and Eve serpent, because that serpent was the serpent of Midgard.
Oh, crossovers. They happen even in mythology. That's good to know.
See where I'm coming from with that?
Yes, I do. They're nice.
And he also had a child named Hel, the ruler of the dead.
Nice.
Now, coming back to the chaos he caused with Baldur's death, who was Odin's son, hero son, and the god of light. So Baldur had nightmares of death all the time, and as such, his mother, Frigg, had made everything living swear not to harm him. However, she forgot about the mistletoe. And as such, Loki saw an opportunity and gave mistletoe to the blind god Herd and guided him to throw it at Baldur's heart and thus killing him.
Oh,
the reason why I think he chose the blind god was because then he had complete control on the situation. Alright, thoughts, feelings, and emotions about the myth. Go.
That's a gruesome way to die, gotta say. I mean,
what do you think of it?
Oh, good. I like it. I mean, I'm gonna like all of these. I'm not gonna have like any strong thoughts and opinions unless someone eats and kills their sibling. I reckon that might do me out of 10.
You might have something on the next one then.
Oh, no, anyway. But yeah, that's not too bad, I think.
Yeah, I actually really like this one. I like how it portrays Loki because it shows kind of the chaos and his cleverness in how to get out of a situation.
Slytherin.
Slytherin, 100%. He is a cunning, slick little devil.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, I actually have a funny fact about the Marvel stuff.
Okay.
Tom Hiddleston originally did not audition for Loki.
Mm.
He auditioned to be Thor.
Yes, I do know that.
I actually had a question for you on that. Do you think that he would have been a good Thor?
No. We've covered this already in the Odin saga.
Amy, you know I have a bit of a weird brain.
Yes, I will say we have already covered this topic. No, he would not. He suits Loki. His character is more Loki, and he's British and he's evil. We're better suited for villain that we're always us.
Yeah. Now, add a question to do with Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Do you think the get help scene was a one-shot?
Oh, no, I don't. I reckon they did a few takes of that just because they had fun with it. And they're just like, oh, I want to do it again. Let's do them again.
Do you think they had some kind of wager or something that Hiddleston lost?
Well,
given the nature of Get Help.
Get Help, I think they both had a hand in it, but I think the director created that, and they just like, oh my god, yeah. Because it seems like a very...
True, that does seem like a bit of a directorial move.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So, right. Donut. I forgot again.
Well, you got notes, don't you? I forgot the notes.
No, because we finished that myth. We finished the myths for episode 18.
Oh.
Remember, we're double recording today.
Oh, okay. But it was a very short episode, everyone, which is good after the last long ones we've had. So, yay!
So, we should probably give everyone a clear update on kind of where this podcast is going.
Yeah. In the trash.
I don't think we should do episode 20, because episode 20 would mean that we end before the June recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
I say we do like 25 or 30.
No, I wouldn't do that many. Do 20 when then we can space these out. So instead of one every week, it's one every 2 weeks. And that gives me more time, especially with my final major project here in.
Yeah, fair point. What the shit have I just done? I'm going to take you a photo of this.
It's a weird mole. I don't think we're quite there yet in our friendship.
No. Hold on. I'm just messing around with this coin on my desk.
I shouldn't be messing around, Kate.
Okay. Texting it to you now.
Ah. You use euros? What the fuck is wrong with you? Use pounds like a normal human. We're worth more.
Well, I have euros out right now because we're going to Spain in a couple days.
Ah, nice. It's a very cool coin. It's standing upright. Love when that happens. Okay. Well.
Did you ever see the video about the guy with the apple?
I'm always just saying it was just like people post videos about cutting one slice of bread and it gets people laughing. And I am one of those people. It's like a test to see if your humor's broken. It's just a piece of bread that basically just does this. Just really, really slowly. It's really funny for some reason.
Yeah. Right. Thank you everyone for listening to episode 18 of Melodies of the Gods with your hosts Amy and Kate.
Bye-bye.
So that's peace out from me.
I said bye. That's all you're getting. Bye.
All right, see you guys.